So I have 3 kids, aged 4 years old and under. And because of their constant tantrums, which are normal, I know, I've read a lot of books about children, how they learn, and basically expert advice on how not to screw them up. I know you're probably thinking, Haley, what the heck does this have to do with not being broke? So bear with me. Last year, I was reading yet another book on child psychology, and a man named Bruce Lipton said this in a book: "Give me a child until age 7 and I'll show you the man." At first, I was like, well, what does this mean? And then I uncovered a whole new world that is mental programming. Apparently, according to people way smarter than me, the first 7 years of a child's life is called the programming period. And basically, they're just taking in information and data by what they see. Then the rest of your life acts in subconscious, where 95% after that will be whatever the program is. So basically, your life and your day-to-day action most likely comes from your subconscious mind. And scarily enough, we can't control most of what we do because of the programming that has happened in our childhood. So when I went to pursue my first online business, or basically when I was trying not to be that classic broke postgraduate student, I naturally made a lot of mistakes. We paid money to an overseas supplier who was making physical products for us and wasted thousands of dollars due to miscommunication. And a year after that, we poured nearly $20,000 down the drain when testing different types of ads for another business we were running. And the entire time, I kept thinking back to this one concept, and that if my life is truly a printout of my subconscious behavior, then in order to be successful, in order to attract wealth, or whatever you want to call it, I have to change the way my mind is programmed and ultimately my beliefs. So today we're going to talk about the 3 main reasons why you're probably programmed to be broke and what to do instead. But before we get into it, my name is Haley, and this channel is all about pursuing financial independence, pursuing passive income with the goal of prioritizing the time that you have with your loved ones and your family above all else. So don't forget to subscribe, like this video if you get value from it, and let's get into it. The first thing you have to know is how your association with money actually affects how much you earn. So let me go ahead and ask you this question. What do you think when you see this photo? Like, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Now, the next question is, what about this photo? So what triggers your mind when you think of this one? Do you see how immediately you think of different experiences, and you might have negative or positive experiences with both of these photos, because ultimately they represent different levels of wealth and money. Relieving any negative emotion experienced with money itself is the key to financial prosperity, but more importantly, understanding where that negative emotion stems from and analyzing if it's rooted in reality or if it's rooted in a lie based off of your past experiences is the key to not being broke and moving towards a more successful and wealthy life. Now, I wanted to go over a couple examples really just to demonstrate my point. So tell me in the comments if this was you guys. So I grew up in a middle-class family. Definitely we're not super broke. We lived in Southern California in a modest home that, we didn't have a lot of money to do extra stuff, but we were definitely comfortable. My mom was a nurse and my dad worked for our family business. And basically my family had this thing, like so many Americans or just people in the world, where you were not allowed to leave the lights on in every room. When you exited a room, you immediately had to turn the light off or you'd be scolded. So nowadays, I still have that really constant pull to quickly have like anxiety when I come into my home and I see all the lights on. And I don't know, it just, obviously that comes from a place of scarcity. My parents didn't have a lot of money, so they wanted to save on electricity. But that kind of thought, that truly is mental programming, like to a T. And you just don't realize you are a frantic mess when it comes to your subconscious and how you process and think about money and wealth and success when you still have these tendencies that you did when you were a child. So nowadays, when it comes to like lights in my house, I know this is a little crazy, but I purposefully leave them on. And I told my husband this, we both agree that we're really trying to fight hard against that programming that we've had since we were children. So when we leave the house and we see that lights are on, we purposefully turn a blind eye and we walk out the door and close it. And no, it's not making me broke, because it's honestly doing the opposite thing. It's really reprogramming me to become like that more abundant self. The same thing is if you run the air conditioner all day long. Years ago, when I first got married, I was always flipping on the air conditioner, on and off, on and off, on and off. It was like I was seriously psycho because I didn't want to waste money. And when you don't have a lot of money, like I understand that you are in a sense wasting it, but with that mentality, you don't believe that there's an abundance of money everywhere for you. And it's hard for you to see money making opportunities when you're constantly penny pinching or turning off the lights, turning off the air conditioning, and you're not really looking at your past history and the things that you actually associate money with when you're doing those little tiny habits all throughout the day. It's the same thing as waiting in line at Costco at the gas station to save a couple bucks, like I said in last week's video, or waiting in a long line to get like a discount, or a Black Friday, waiting like 24 hours to get $100 off your TV. Like those types of things really just devalue your time, which we'll get into that. And it's telling your brain that money is hard to come by. And the question that I want to leave off just on this first one is that why are you acting like the way that your parents acted when you grew up if you don't want to live the life that they ended up living? Because you're literally becoming a carbon copy of your parents by penny pinching, being crazy about the air conditioning, worrying about, the gas prices. Those types of things will lead you to the life that you witnessed and that was programmed into you growing up. So you have to do the opposite. You have to work hard and fight against your subconscious programming and your subconscious mind. So besides the more visual things that happen probably in your childhood, without getting into like traumatic events or anything crazy, because obviously everyone can complain about some aspect of their childhood, we don't have to go there, but you should ask yourself, what were the ideas that were fed to me in my childhood? Things like, life is hard, I have no time, I'm not smart, I'm not good at math, money is for snobby people, or money is evil, or money makes people fight. I challenge you to change your mentality around money. And if you're broke right in this moment, right now, you need to be doing the opposite of what was programmed into you when you were a child. Thinking thoughts like money is everywhere, money supports me and my family, I can do way more good with money than without, or it is my duty to be compensated for things I'm good at because it supports people I give money to. So the second reason why you're programmed to be broke has to do with how you value your time. And in last week's video, I really talked about the idea of trading your time for money, and that broke people do not value their time at all. But really, the deep root cause of why people don't value their time is because they actually don't feel like they're worthy of money. If deep down you really believed you were truly worthy to have and attract money, then you wouldn't be spending decades of your life complaining that things are breaking down, or you can't help certain family members out, or you hate your job, but you choose to have a $1,000 iPhone, a car loan, nice things, nice clothes, yet you spend sometimes 10 or 15 hours a week meal planning, shopping for groceries, cooking, and not to mention cleaning, all the while complaining that you don't have time. We all have time, we just prioritize it for the wrong things. You have to know that time is a created thing, and to say that you don't have time is basically saying, I don't want to. So you have to really fight against your subconscious mind because it does not support your new way of thinking. Ask yourself, what are you challenged with in life? Is it your marriage? Is it the relationship with your kids? Is it how much money you have or don't have? Odds are you feel really challenged in these areas of your life because you have a belief that's been programmed into you that doesn't support this new idea. So how do you reprogram your mind to attract wealth or money? The first step is to analyze your beliefs. Ask yourself what you really want out of life, then ask yourself what is telling you that you can't have those things. Then right next to each of those beliefs, if it is actually rooted in reality or if it is a lie based on your past experiences. The second step is to prove yourself wrong. You override your subconscious mind by facing the thing which you think is impossible. So in regards to money, if you think it's hard to make a living, pursue something and don't stop until you get a win. It is incredibly hard, not because it's literally hard to make money. Nowadays, you can make an income in just a couple months doing reels on Instagram or growing a social media following. It's only hard because of how you're programmed and your old self. You must become a new character in your life. Imagine you are a puppet and the puppet master is your old self. When your mind is fearful and it's telling you that you can't do something that you know you want to pursue, grab your strings and tell it no. If you historically say to yourself, I'm a quitter, I'm a failure, I suck at everything, grab those strings and say no. I will fight hard against my old character and choose a new path. So that's it for today's video. I do have a free downloadable for you guys. It's all about money mindset beliefs. And if you guys want more information on how to change your money mindset and how it's absolutely exploded my income beyond my wildest dreams, then go ahead and get the free downloadable below. You just got to enter your email and you'll get everything sent to you. But beyond that, thanks for watching. Subscribe to this channel if you got value for it and like this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.